Eric's turn. I cried all the way home, each tear a different version of violation and anger. I was nervous about how Eric would react when he heard that another man had sexually assaulted his wife. Until now, it flattered him when other men showed me attention because he was the one who got to take me home. But this had to be different, right? It was Worthless Wednesday. Eric suggested dinner out. He decided on a restaurant we had never been to, one at a golf course a few miles from his house. On the way there, my tears started to roll as I told him the summarized version of what had happened to me. I was sexually assaulted at work today. Kunz fondled my crotch right there in my cubicle during the lunch hour. No one was around to help me. Silence. Maybe if I spoke louder. He waited until everyone was gone and then assaulted me. Nothing. I begged for guidance. I don't know what to do. What should I do? No answer. He continued to drive, looking straight ahead. I escalated to pleading. What would you do? Finally, a cold and unexpected reply. I don't know. I'm not a woman. I lost my breath. For the first time, oddly, I noticed that his voice wasn't as deep as one would expect from such a tall guy. Well, your wife is, I said. Stunned, with tears now racing down my face, I looked out the passenger's window and longed to join the cattle running free in a pasture. They had no idea of their impending doom. He parked, got out of the car, and pretended the conversation never happened. It didn't matter that my eyes were wet, red, and burning. It didn't matter that I had been sexually assaulted by another man, twice. Eric was hungry. Once seated, I couldn't force myself to look in his direction. I couldn't stand to see the balding spots on his crown and the circular pattern of stubble at ear level, where his hair was growing, but he was too lazy to maintain shaving it unless he was going to work. I couldn't look at the bit of extra skin that spilled over his mock turtleneck when he looked down at the menu. I couldn't remember the last time he had laughed, other than in response to one of his offensive comments about people different from him. He ordered his usual high cholesterol, high fat meal. What about your damn blood pressure? When it arrived, he ate as if nothing was wrong. I felt too sick to eat. Through small cracks in my thoughts, he could be heard rambling about his meal and critiquing the service. I didn't give a shit about what was on his plate or how long it took for him to get it. I cared only about my realization of the man who sat across from me.